Mark, it felt like your transition defense and just the disruption you were able to create in transition was a pretty big factor in the game. What did you notice on that front, just in terms of the way your guys were able to get back and make plays?
Yeah, I thought we did a really good job in that area of the game. Pretty solid defensively all the way through, because it was just kind of a out of rhythm offensive night. We didn't shoot it great and complete a lot of plays. We had some well-intentioned plays that turned into clunky turnovers. But the steadiness of the defense allowed us to control a game that was in the trenches. We won the first 3 quarters despite not having our fastball offensively, and that's what good defense does for you, is it creates that kind of margin. Tonight was a good example of that.
Lou's confidence never wavers. Is there anything about him and his shot over the course of a game that he's either technique-wise kind of getting on so that at the end of the game, he's knocking those down? Because it just seems like we've seen that movie before with him in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he's got a confidence that kind of transcends the circumstance of the game. Tonight, again, we collectively weren't making a ton of shots. I thought we made a lot of good plays that just didn't finish with a made shot. Some nights are like that. But there's certain guys that their confidence is just kind of transcends that, and he's one of them. He'll step in and make a big shot at the most unpredictable time. Tonight was a good example. He made big shots tonight when it felt like we really needed them. They were very timely. Guys did a good job of finding him. I thought one of our best offensive possessions of the night ended with a 3 by him. So, credit to him, and he's enduring a slow start shooting the ball. In the last 2 games, he's gotten a nice rhythm.
Four-guard lineup looked like you went to the late. Did that kind of help him just kind of spread the floor a little bit for him, you think?
Yeah, we've just played so much Chet at the 4, which is really, that's come a long way for us and has been really potent, but we don't want to be a rigid team. We want to develop a lot of different tools, and one of them is obviously the ability to shift him to the 5, and we thought tonight might be a good opportunity to do that, and it was at different times, so some of that was just working that in. And I thought the guys did a good job of adapting, but we've got to remain very fluid and adaptive and flexible so that we can, kind of morph as necessary to the game and to the opponent throughout the season.
Also, I guess you guys may know this. It looked like they changed their lineup. Schroeder didn't start tonight. He came off the bench. Keon Ellis has been getting a lot of minutes. He didn't play as much. Does that have any effect how you guys go about your business?
Not really. I think they obviously were trying to match us double big. That was, I think, why they started that way, and they were trying to get to that when we did during the game. So, it didn't really impact us. We came into the game knowing that there was a couple things we wanted to try to get done that I thought we got done lineup-wise.
5 of the last 6 games, Chet's been over 20 points. Have you noticed offensive more aggression that maybe he's been playing with, or is this something natural that's just happened with Chet?
Yeah, he's played great. I think it's just a marker that he's gotten better, stronger, more confident, more decisive, more forceful, all those things. But he's kind of been like that coming out of the off season. He worked hard and got better, and the thing that's encouraging that I mentioned many times is he's getting a lot of it in the flow of the game. We're not having to manufacture things for him. He's able to do it in the flow of the offense, in the flow up the floor. He's learning how to do that from the 4, and he's done a great job.
What was the biggest, shift after the first quarter? I think the Kings got off to an 8 out of 10, 9 out of 11 start in the paint, finished the game under 60%. Just kind of talk about that.
I thought tonight was a really good game for us. I thought it was a game kind of, like I said, in the trenches, in the mud. It never felt like we really busted through, especially offensively. I don't think it was poor intentions at all. I thought we were trying to play the right way. It was some clunky plays, some tough bounces, some missed threes. And we had to work through a ton of stuff. Chet had to work through stuff tonight. We had to work through missed threes. We had to work through some turnovers. AJ had a high turnover game, which is uncharacteristic for him. I thought Shea made a lot of really good passes in the game that we just didn't complete in terms of making the shot, which is a skill that you need. You need to be able to play and compete when it's imperfect conditions. And I thought we did that tonight, and I thought we really improved tonight as a result of that, despite the fact that it wasn't a masterpiece.
You've gotten a decent look at AJ with the double bigs, with various guys around them. What do you think about like that trio with like a shooter and a defender with them?
I haven't really thought about it like that. It's just trying to get good balance across the 48 minutes, and the double big is obviously really good on both ends of the floor at this point. Him handling when Shea's off is incredibly valuable to us, and then we found a nice groove with Caruso out there with those guys, and then usually Kaysen, sometimes Oos has done a good job with those minutes. So that unit's done a nice job for us. And a lot of it's just because we got really good players out there that play together and compete together on both ends.
Anybody else for Coach? Thank you, Coach.
All righty.